Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for tuning in to that Ready Talk Boxing Show. I'm with your host, Mr. A. That is me. I am Mr. A. And if this is your first time tuning in to the Double RT Boxing Show and you're wondering what the fuck is the Double RT Boxing Show, it's Ready Talk Boxing Show. It's a play on the boxing. The referee talks in the corner. Fighters, you ready? You ready? Fight. Well, I'm ready. I host the show. You, the listener, are you ready? I'm ready. Talk boxing. There you have it. Nice little play on words. Ready, talk boxing. And for like I said, this is season 4 for the 730 something viewers or subscribers I have. For whoever's been following for all 4 seasons, you know the lingo of the show. Best versus the best. That's the lingo of the show. For you new viewers, what it stands for, we cover the rankings. That's what this show's about. We cover the rankings 1 through 15, the belts they get along the way, intercontinental, interim, best versus the best, 1 through 15, whatever you think of them, we follow them because we're boxing junkies. This is the boxing rehab. We all come in, sign in at the front desk, whatever your fix is, whatever you're junked up to. Bantamweights, uppercuts, jabbers, movers, heavyweights, bantamweights. My favorite fighter is Aries Landy Lara, so you're not going to get judged about who you like. My pound for pound, my number 5 is not the monster, it's Kenshiro. So there you have it. No judgment here. We're all junkies. Now, as far as this bout we're going to get into, this WBA regular title bout. Now, if you've been following this show, you know Alexander Bestputin. He's been on the Double RT Boxing Show. I believe this is going to be his 3rd or 4th segment. Covered about 2 of his fights. Overall, made a breakdown and predictions. Two of like 2 segments on each fight. We covered them, one, because that's what this show is. It's a junkie show, boxing versus the best. But this is Terrence Crawford's top ranked welterweight. On the show, we've been covering Kavalaskis versus Terrence Crawford since season 2. You know, everyone else is like, "What the fuck is this fight? What the fuck is this fight?" On season 2, we were calling for that fight. We're happy to see Kavalaskis because as much as he's a flat-footed type of guy, he hits hard. And at welterweight, we haven't really seen anyone crack Terrence Crawford, or try to impose a will. Someone who could basically who hits hard that Terrence Crawford has fought at welterweight. Can't really say anything. So can Kavalaskis beat him? No. Is he hit hard? That's what we want to see. But as much as we wanted to see that fight, on the back end, we always said probably the better fight for Terrence Crawford, the more challenging fight, will be Alexander Bestputin. But Top Rank ain't pushing him as hard as Kavalaskis. Kavalaskis was the more pro-season ready fighter. Now, Bestputin is catching up. He came in. We think I say he gives him more problems because of the movement. Now, the reach and the power probably goes with Kavalaskis, but the movement and the boxing skills, to me, overall, full package, goes to Bestputin as a challenge for Crawford. Now, that being said, Bestputin is taking on Radzhab Butaev. Didn't know who the hell that was until I went to go research him. This is a boxing junkie channel. Now, if you know that name by name, if you know that fighter by name, then hey, shit, you shooting up some serious boxing in those veins. You shooting up some serious shit. Share it. Now, once I went to go research him, I did. I recognized who he was. I seen one fight of him live, and that was against the Janter. Threw no damn Janter Gonzalez, threw no punches. I remember it because I seen Janter fight. I think it was Jamal Unchained Django. I seen Janter fight him. So I was like, all right, that dude probably gonna stink up the show again. But hey, and sure enough, he did. Didn't throw no punches. Haven't seen him since. That's 2 fights in a row. And Bat's move was, so I did some more researching on him. That low style seems very confident in his skills. It seems like he knows what to do. Now, this fight, again, it's for the vacant WBA welterweight title, the one that Manny Pacquiao had, and he gave up because he defeated Keith Thurman for the real one. Now, on paper, this fight seems great. Like I said, I am not one to really give a rat's ass about numbers. I don't, but I get a lot of predictions wrong on this show. One, because I'm a junkie, and two, I always believe in skills pay the bills, and I overlook power sometimes. And then sometimes I just overestimate people. Again, my favorite fighter is Aries Landelara, so I'm always thinking the mover and boxer is gonna win every fight. I just think the skills will always overpay the power, but I get that shit wrong a lot. And so if you want to see numbers, like I said, on paper, on numbers, this can be a little off-putting, or it could be a nice fight. Like I said, 12-0 with 9 KOs, Radzhab. 13-0 with 9 KOs, Bestputin. That sounds pretty damn good. You got number 1 and number 2 of the WBA. Number 1 being Bestputin, number 2 being Radzhab. So it's like, oh shit, 12-0, 13-0, 9 KOs, 9 KOs with number 1 and 2. 28 years old, 25. The younger being Radzhab. He has the attributes. He is 5'10 and a half with 72-inch reach. That's long. That's long. 72-inch against a 68 and a 5'7. So he's got 2.5 inches on him. 2.5 inches with a 4-inch reach. So Bestputin, again, I said he's a mover. He's gonna have to move, create angles, get inside. Batsman, he has that wide stance. He carries that hand down low. It could be very like. Is it too low? Is his feet too wide where the movement he won't be able to counter and pick off Bestputin's movement? Bestputin's moving, checking body work, moving, constantly turning them. It's going to be hard for Bat. How do you pronounce his name? Butaev to cut the ring off and follow Bestputin if he's having that long, wide stance with his hands down. That's going to be a dangerous. Bestputin could just dive in, attack, and move. But again, with that 4-inch reach, he could get picked off. Like I said, so those are some numbers right there. But then, like I said, if you want more numbers, this is number 16 versus number 82. 16 versus number 82 by box rec, of course. So you're like, oh shit. Anything else in life, like, hey, do you want to date the 16th prettiest woman, or do you want to date the 82 prettiest women? You're like, why ask me that question? Why ask me that question? 16 and number 82. So that's how it is. And just for shits and giggles, just for talking that talk, the boxing talk, the ready talk boxing. Thank you for showing your support. I am your host, Mr.A. If you want to talk more talk, you got a southpaw in Bestputin, who's a mover, power in both hands, orthodox against Butaev. But this is where it gets tricky. This is where it gets fun. That fun talk. Okay. Bestputin, in his last 5 fights, his opponents were 103, 26, and 2 draws. Go on the other side, the number 2 by the WBA, I'm fucking it up. Butaev. I said his name like 3 different ways in this video. His last 4 fights, and again, that was 5 fights for Bestputin. 103, 26, and 2. Last 4 fights for Butaev. Again, 113, 53, and 7. 113 to 103, 53 losses to 26 losses, 7 draws to 2 draws. Both of these fighters are getting fighters that's given experience, but obviously Bestputin's been in with the better competition. We've seen him against Abreu. That's like the biggest name off the top of my head. That's who he fought. That was like his big name. But he's going on the box rec. You see the records. Way better competition with Bestputin, who had harder fights, pushed him to the harder limits. Whereas Butaev, He dominated all his fighters, and the thing is, with that low style, that cockiness, he knows he's the better technician of his opponents. He could have picked up bad habits. Bad habit, like I said, he comes in with the wide leg. He has that that wide, like that overextended. When you know how Deontay Wilder does that kung fu shit in the ring, that wide ass stance. That's how this wide ass stance of Betubi have. And I said, I don't think with that wide stance he's gonna be able to keep up with the movement of Bestputin. I'm going with Bestputin to move around, find the angle, work himself inside. 'Cause I think once he gets inside, he's a better fighter than Batuv. He's gonna have to get in that reach. I think Batuv can match him with hand speed, can match him with power, match him skill for skill. I just think the legs and the feet are gonna win this fight for Bestputin. I'm going with an actual stoppage. I'm going like a round 9 stoppage for Bestputin, right here on the Double RT Boxing Show. Thank you for your time and support.